you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream. Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out RV Daydream. And today I'm going to talk about something that's off topic but sort of on topic whenever it comes to RVing and getting yourself free from whatever it is that might be constraining you from enjoying yourself. Now this might be a little bit of a hard concept for me to get across to you. And it's not so much that I feel as if my audience isn't going to understand me because they can't comprehend. It's because I'll have a hard time putting it into words. It's something that I think about or that I feel strongly about. However, I have a hard time trying to put it in words where people can grasp the concept. So if this makes sense to you, great. If not, I apologize, and it may just come off as some sort of ramble. I hear a lot of people talking about how they want to escape and get away from it all and make themselves happy by getting into an RV and getting out there and traveling the country, that they're going to be happier people because of it. And that might pertain to the majority of the people that are doing it or wanting to do it. However, I want to make sure that people do sort of a self-personality check or a psychological check on what they're doing and what they plan on achieving. And a lot of times I find that it seems like that people think that going full-time RVing or just getting out away from whatever they're around is going to be the end-all be-all of their happiness and make it to where it's nothing but sunshine and rainbows because they have now got on the road and they're away from everything and all these people and people in general, and they're trying to accomplish something by exploring and being out there. And I'm not saying that's not necessarily the case, but what I want to discuss is what people might actually be experiencing and them translating it incorrectly in their mind and feeling as if that there's an answer, that they're going to get to a certain destination and a certain location, or they're going to be in their RV and traveling, and all of a sudden they are free from all this pressure and unhappiness that surrounds them. You might be able to escape the rat race, and the rat race might be something that you're having a problem with and causing some extra stress in your life. However, just because you escape the rat race and you're out on the road doesn't mean that you're not going to have drama. If you're a dramatic type person and you don't realize that that drama is in you and you cause that drama, it's not going to change once you're out on the road and you're traveling. The negativity that you absorb and allow to penetrate into your psyche is something that is going to happen regardless if you're at home sitting on the couch with rent and payments and bills and a job you don't care for, or if you're out on the road and you're driving down the street and somebody cuts you off, or you can't find the park that you want to, or you're having a problem with your rig, whatever the case may be. If you allow negativity to attack you at home in the situation that you're currently at, that negativity is going to penetrate and attack you even on the road. I learned this a long time ago, and I don't even know who told me or how I found out or where I read it, but only you can make you happy. There is no other person that's going to make you happy. Now, there's going to be some of you that say, well, what about my partner? What about my husband? What about my wife? You know, I'm happier whenever I'm with them. It's not because those people aren't great people to be around and they help you be a more happier person. What it is it's the way that you perceive and receive and how receptive you are to that person and their actions. So if you have a person that comes in and says, hi, how you doing, honey? If you're not receptive to that person greeting you and acknowledging you and making you feel important, it's just going to be words that's spoken. But for whatever reason, there's personality types out there that interact with each other, and you always hear people say, you know, they just rub me wrong. Well, there's also people that just rub you right. There's people that you surround yourself with that you just are more receptive to. And although that seems to be happiness to you and that person's making you happy, it's really you, and that you are translating their actions and you're receiving their actions, and you're doing that in a positive way. You're receiving them positive. You're translating all their actions as positive actions and how they reflect on you and how they make you feel. You are in control of that. Let me give you an example of why I believe that. If you really think that a person can make you happy just by that person being a happy type of person, if you're at a funeral for a loved one and somebody comes up and tells you the funniest joke in the world, how happy is that going to actually make you? That might alleviate a little pressure or anxiety you're having right at that moment, but they're not going to turn you happy, and that's because you are not in a receptive state. You're not wanting that joke to make you happy. You are in a different type of state of mind, and that's really what we're talking about, is a state of mind. Now, there's people out there that can temporarily make you happy, and that just happens regardless if you aren't really in a receptive mood or not. There are times that people can make you happy temporarily, but again, it's just going to last for a short time. As long as that person's really pushing that positivity on you, it's going to penetrate to some extent if you allow it, but again, you are in control of that. And let me talk about control to some extent. Controlling your feelings and your reactions is really tough to do and keep them in check without losing your feelings. And what I mean is, you want to be able to feel a certain way about a sunset, or getting up in the morning and hearing the birds chirp, or driving down a road and the sun shining and your favorite songs on the radio. That's something that you want to be able to feel. And you're going to have feelings about it. But you don't want those feelings to put you out of control to where you're under a lot of highs and a lot of lows. So basically, as far as controlling your feelings, you want to control your feelings, but you don't want to lose the feel. You want to be able to still feel things. It's just a tough balance for you to figure out, and how that pertains to you and how you react to certain emotions and certain situations and, of course, certain people. Most people, whenever they're trying to get positivity in their life and really come to the conclusion of, hey, you know what, I just realized if I could find a way to take everything that's being said to me and turn it into a positive, I'll be better off. I don't think that will ever happen. Most people in life don't have great aha moments. There may be a few of them, but usually they're little epiphanies. They're just tiny little self-realizations that are put together to help you with your overall being. Now, I don't want you to think that I'm some sort of a flake. You know, peace is my journey and all that other stuff. I know that's not the case. But, I mean, there's certain things that apply that really make sense to a lot of people, and that is, you know, life is the journey, not the destination. I'm kind of wanting to elaborate on that thought a little bit with what I'm saying here now, and that is, your destination of being on the road and RVing is not going to necessarily make you happy. It's the process of you being happy through positive thoughts and really shedding the negativity. Now, I'm going to be the first one to admit, there is no way that I do that all the time. I don't necessarily practice this. I try to, but it doesn't happen. I mean, there are things that I just have a problem with. Like in my case, I hold grudges for years and years, and it's because I have a pretty good memory. I have a really tough time letting go of stuff. I mean, I know of people that I had problems with back in the 90s and the 80s that I would still have problems with today. And really, I had very little interaction with them. It's just something that I hang on to. So you got to learn to let go, and I know that that's something I have a hard time with. I mean, there's so many quotes that come to mind as far as letting go and the burden that you carry until you do so. You're not able to run freely unless you drop the load that you currently have. I mean, there's things like that that's just really tough to do. So how this ties in with RVing is really just basically, the RV thing is not a destination. Once you're out there, I don't think that all of a sudden everything is just going to be beautiful and perfect. No matter where you go, there you are. So you've got to be aware of who you are while you're out there. And you got to be aware of who you are before you even leave. It's a really tough concept to get around. And again, a lot of us have lived a certain way for so long, like myself, that we have certain inherent traits in our personality that it's really hard to overcome. as far as moving forward, it can be done. It's just really hard to make changes to your life. So anybody out there that is thinking that RVing is going to be the way to make yourself happy, you really need to look at what you're doing currently and why you're unhappy, and see how many of those things really are going to be identified with getting in an RV and on the road, or if it's something that you're going to have with you regardless of where you're at. So that's it, guys. I'm not wanting to jump on any kind of soapbox. This is just my thoughts. And while it came to mind, I just scribbled down some words, and I wanted to make sure that I covered that. I hope this doesn't come across as trying to preach something that is not, normally accepted. But I just wanted to let you know how I felt about it, and hope that these words might help somebody else out there that might be struggling. Either in an RV or out of an RV, one way or the other. I appreciate you guys watching, and as always, I hope to see you guys out there. Bye.